Hey, Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Let's get into it. Look, the time is short. Yahweh Shai is on the way. The end of this age is at hand. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. The age of Esau is closing. The book on Esau and his rulership is closing. The book on the heathen nations is closing. You know? And as things begin to all close, as this chapter begins to end, that new book, he's going to move to a new book. He's going to open up a new book. And that new book is going to be what? The era of Jacob. And that book, it has blank pages. Because what? It has a start, but also it's a way of saying that book is endless. That book is going to be endless. You know? That book is going to be endless. You know, but as things start to come to close, how should we be? You know, how should we be? And I'm gonna go and get that. Listen, this is First Peter's. Start from 4, and we gonna get 7. Start from verse 7. Listen. But the end of all things is at hand. Be therefore sober and watch unto prayer. You know, pray without ceasing. Pray that Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, covers you, covers your household, cover those you want to see make it. You know? Pray for pity and pray for mercy. You know? Pray for mercy. Because that's something we're going to need. That's something we're all going to need in the times to come. To escape these times, we're going to need the sure mercies of David. You know? You know? It said, watch unto prayer. Each time you see something happening, you can give thanks. Thanks that you're able to see it. Things that is happening. You know, and pray that you all remain. Pray that, he take not his spirit away from you and cast you not out of his presence. You know? Verse 8. And above all things have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. You know, what Yahushua said, all things, all the law hang upon these things. Roughly paraphrasing, brotherly love. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Love the Most High with all your heart, mind, and soul. That's it. Because you had that, what? You're going to be charitable to your brother. You're going to help him out. You ain't going to kick them while they down. You ain't going to kick them while they down. You going to give them space. You going to make sure things are all right. But not only that, but being a decent person out in the world. Having that good name, even though we're going to be persecuted. A lot of it is gonna be people trying to come up against you because what Yahweh Shah has put down, what Yahweh Shah has orchestrated, has put down, or false witnesses. It's gonna be a lot of that, but some people gonna be know you, but huh? Nah, I know this person. He ain't like that. He wouldn't do that. I see what the scripture's saying. Yeah, I remember he all been down this all what scripture's saying. Yes, but this bull crap y'all saying about him, nah. This man was a man of the scriptures. This man was a man of the Lord. I'm not saying it might go down like that, but trying to be a well-to-do person according to the scriptures. Verse 9, use hospitality one to another without grudging. Just be how they say in the world, just be a homie. But yeah, this is what this is gonna help. All this is gonna help in the times of Jacob's trouble. This is the person you ought to be as the time get closer. I ain't saying you gotta be all mushy and friendly. I learned that the hard way. You have some brothers that's more austere. You have some brother that just just ain't the type to do all that, but they show love. You got some people out in the world, they ain't mushy tight, You think they this way, but they not that way. You had learned it the hard way. Out in the world. You be like, you can't be like that with everybody. Say that for the brothers. Say that for all the sisters that's in the truth. But, just try to be a well-to-do person. This is 2 Peter's chapter 3, verse 11. Listen. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Conversation is it's not actually going to speech, is going to manner of life. And all holy manner of life and godliness. You being an upright person. You ain't scheming nobody outside of the truth just because they outside the truth. You ain't being a Negro to them. You ain't being a devil. You not being a hypocrite. Like you only that well-to-do guy amongst the brethren, amongst the sisters, amongst the body, but to the outside world, you acting like a YN. You acting like a what's they call it for the female? A YH. Nah. Conduct yourself how you conduct yourself around the body and the world. That's how you're supposed to do it. So what? The ministry won't be blamed. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. You looking forward to that day? What the scripture has said, watch unto prayer. You know, watch unto prayer. You know, these are things you're hoping for because you're tired. You know, just tired of the BS. Just tired of the BS. You know? This is let me grab and find the first. Yeah. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. Look. See then that ye walk circumspectly, careful. You making sure you're doing the right thing, trying your best to do the right thing, not to be a jerk, not to be a liar, not to be a brawler, not to be not to be similar to the two-thirds or these other nations, these other wicked heathen nations, mainly Esau, Edom. You walking circumspectly you trying to walk circumspectly to walk in the shadow of Yahweh Shai. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Evil days are coming. Evil days are coming. You want to be comfort. You want to have favor in those evil days. So what? You must walk circumspectly, wisely. Don't be like them fools. Don't be like those who know they're at the end, but they're constantly ignoring it because they want to live it up. Don't be like them that hear but don't do, because they want to live it up. They don't want it to happen now. Don't be willfully ignorant. Don't be willfully ignorant. They try to say ignorance is bliss. It is a bit, until that day comes. That day comes, and they can't do nothing. And they can do nothing to save themselves. So with that, I hope you was edified. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom.